Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever, really noticed how just taking one deep breath can totally change how you feel?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds simple, maybe like an old saying, but there's real power there. It's something wisdom traditions knew for ages, and now, well, science is catching up.
It really is.
So this deep dive is all about breathwork basics, why breath matters. We've looked at a whole range of stuff, ancient yogic texts, studies on Navy SEALs, clinical psychology.
A real mix.
Yeah, and our mission here is basically to pull out the core ideas and show you the incredible power you actually hold in your own breathing.
It's about making that connection.
Yeah.
How something you do automatically without thinking
Right.
can become your most accessible tool for, calm and clarity.
Exactly. So let's get into it. What's really striking from the sources is how breath is described as this fundamental anchor.
Yeah, that comes through strongly. It's why it's so central to things like meditation, right? Mm-hmm. Your thoughts might wander off everywhere, but your breath, the inhale, the exhale that's always happening right now in this moment.
It gives your mind something solid to come back to. Always there, like a built-in reset button you carry around.
Precisely.
But it's more than just focus, isn't it? The sources really dig into how breath acts as this bridge between the body and the mind.
Yes, that connection is key.
We all kind of know intuitively that our breathing changes. Stressed versus relaxed, it's totally different. So how does consciously changing it, how does that actually calm everything down?
Okay, so this is where the old wisdom and the new science really, sync up beautifully.
Oh, okay.
Ancient Eastern traditions, like yoga, they talked about breath prana as this vital life energy.
Right, prana. I've heard that term.
And pranayama, the breath control techniques, wasn't just about moving air. It was about guiding this energy, influencing your mind, your body, even your spirit.
Wow.
They believed specific ways of breathing could actually balance energy channels in the body. Like the nadies that alternate nostril breathing is supposed to work on.
And they were doing this thousands of years ago, developing techniques for calming or energizing. It's kind of wild they had these concepts like prana or the Chinese idea of qi way before we had microscopes and EEGs.
It is pretty amazing. And connecting that to now, that ancient understanding, modern research is actually validating a lot of it.
How so?
Well, the sources explain that when you consciously breathe slowly and deeply, you directly activate your parasympathetic nervous system.
That's the rest and digest system, yeah. The opposite of fight or flight.
Exactly right. By slowing your breath down, you stimulate something called the vagus nerve.
Okay.
It's a major nerve pathway. And stimulating it basically tells your heart to slow down and signals your whole body it's okay to relax.
Okay.
It helps flip that stress switch off.
So when someone tells you to take a deep breath when you're freaking out, there's actual biology behind it working.
Absolutely. It's not just psychological. There's a physiological shift happening.
That's fascinating. Were there specific studies mentioned in the sources? What kind of impact did they find?
Oh, definitely. Research shows even short breathwork sessions can increase what's called vagal tone.
Which is a good thing.
Yes. Higher vagal tone is linked to less anxiety, better emotional regulation, more resilience, basically.
Yeah.
And slower breathing patterns. They're associated with better heart health, increased heart rate variability.
Right?
Yep. And the sources even point out that making your exhales longer than your inhales, which is a key part of many techniques, can actually help lower blood pressure.
Okay, so physical calm, check. But what about the brain itself? Does it change our mental state too?
It does. Studies show slow breathing increases alpha brain waves.
Alpha waves, that's like the calm, focused, meditative state.
Exactly, a state of calm alertness. And this can lead to reduced symptoms of anxiety and even depression. What really stood out, though, was a 2023 Stanford study.
Oh, yeah. What did that find?
It found that just 5 minutes a day of a specific type of breathwork, cyclic sighing, emphasizing a long exhale, was actually more effective at improving mood and reducing anxiety than 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation.
Wait, 5 minutes? More effective than mindfulness for mood?
According to that specific study, yes, which is pretty significant.
That feels incredibly powerful and accessible. It puts the control right back in your hands, doesn't it? And these techniques, they aren't super complicated, are they?
Not at all, generally.
Yeah.
The sources highlighted a few really effective, simple ones. First, there's box breathing. You hear about it a lot with Navy SEALs.
Right, for staying calm under pressure.
Just inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, hold the breath out for 4. Super simple, very rhythmic, grounding.
Okay, box breathing. Then there was 4-7-8 breathing. I think Dr. Andrew Weil talks about that one a lot. Adapted from yoga.
Correct. That's inhale through the nose for 4, hold the breath for 7, and then exhale slowly through the mouth for 8.
Ah, so the exhale is much longer there.
Exactly. That long exhale is really key for kicking in that deep relaxation response.
Yeah.
Makes it great for winding down, maybe before sleep.
Makes sense. And the last one you mentioned earlier, the classic yogic one, alternate nostril breathing.
Yes, Nadi Shodhana. You use your fingers to gently close one nostril, breathe in through the other, switch, breathe out, breathe in, switch.
Sounds a little different.
It might feel a bit unusual at first, yeah. But the sources suggest it's excellent for balancing things out, calming the nervous system, and really helping to focus the mind. Even just 5 minutes a day is beneficial.
It's really quite inspiring, isn't it? How all these different threads, ancient practices, cutting-edge research, they all point back to this simple, fundamental thing, your breath.
Mm-hmm.
So, wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you listening right now? We've seen how your breath is this incredible connector, body and mind, a steady anchor when things feel chaotic.
From those ancient ideas of prana and chi controlling energy.
Yeah. To the modern science showing how deep breathing literally flips the switch to your rest and digest system through the vagus nerve, lowers stress hormones.
And even boosts mood and clarity. Remember that Stanford study? Just 5 minutes, showing a real impact.
Right. And we touched on those practical tools, the grounding box breathing, the deeply relaxing 4-7-8, the balancing alternate nostril breath. It's fascinating how it all converges on this one truth.
That controlling your breath gives you this remarkable handle on your own inner state.
Which leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it?
Sure.
What if the simplest, maybe the most powerful tool you have for handling stress, for boosting focus, for finding a bit of peace? What if it's been right here with you, literally under your nose, the whole time?
Mm-hmm. It's always available.
So the next time life feels like, well, a lot, just remember, you have your breath. Maybe try using it intentionally. See what happens.